Mike, check 1, 2. Okay, we're good. All right. Yo, what is up? Taking your questions, comments, calls. Happy Monday, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Anybody got any sign suggestions, by the way? I was trying to think of something to write here. Chadwell in. Attaboy. What's up, man? What's up? Obviously, got a lot to talk about here on a Monday. Taking your questions, comments, calls as well. 843-790-3377. Lot to get into here. Obviously, with the Will Muschamp news pressers this morning, trying to find anybody got a sign suggestion. Let's see. Everybody's saying Connor Shaw. Actually, you know what? I got it. Yep. Excuse my handwriting on this one. Literally writing it sitting down. Tell you what, being left-handed does not make it easy. All right. Pretty simple. Harris for Heisman. He deserves it. Make sure. There we go. Have to get it to the light. There we go. All right. Harris for Heisman. That works. Okay. All right. Again, taking your questions, comments, calls, guys. 843-790-3377. I'll go ahead and open the phone lines. A lot to get into, and I'm sure you guys will want to chime in on it. Sure, you guys are going to want to chime in on it. Obviously, Ray Tanner speaking, Mike Bobo speaking this morning, players coming out. Again, I'm sure there will be a lot of calls, a lot of comments, a lot of questions. Everybody's busy right now. But it's awesome, though. Again, appreciate you guys tuning in. Appreciate the love and support, guys. If you have not done so, check out the podcast drop this morning, episode 318. 318, obviously talking the Ole Miss game. Of course, the news that dropped yesterday, obviously I went live. Will Muschamp is officially out at South Carolina. And honestly, it feels a little surreal to say that. I really wasn't sure we were going to see this day, but here we are. So let's see. Yeah, Connor Shaw for quarterback coach, or Connor Shaw being the new quarterback's coach, is absolutely awesome. I know we all love that. We all love to see that. And I would love whoever the next coach is to keep him in that role. I think keeping Connor Shaw obviously involved in South Carolina is a fantastic move. I think certainly it is a fantastic move. So, guys, again, questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That is the number, 843-790-3377. Elizabeth Ballard says, my favorite was Hill's reaction to being told Connor would be helping with quarterbacks. Yeah, I thought that was really, really cool. I'm excited for it. I mean, again, the GOAT is home. So I know he was already on staff, but really to be on staff now, I think would be cool. Sean Ramey, do we keep Stockton as a commitment next year, even if Bobo is not on the staff? I think it's very much possible. I mean, I've been saying that since the rumors started coming out, obviously, and I've been saying I think we can certainly keep Stockton. I mean, why can't we? He grew up a Gamecocks fan because of Connor Shaw. So why not? You know what I mean? And South Carolina has plenty to offer to a guy like Gunnar Stockton. You still have your facilities. You still have a great fan base. Why not? So SEC football too, Mike Bobo already making a good move. Yeah, I'd agree. Again, keeping Connor Shaw involved, keeping him on staff, I think that's awesome. I think that's really, really cool. HML31 Gaming, where do you think Muschamp could land? Yeah, that's a really good question. I think he's going to land on his feet. I think he's going to probably be a defensive coordinator somewhere, whether it be an SEC school, Power 5 school. I think he'll probably be a DC somewhere. So let's see. Brian Welch, Shaw at quarterback coach equals Stockton 100% committed. Yeah, again, I think that's very, very possible. Again, Connor Shaw's brother is literally his head coach. The reason he's a Gamecock fan is because of Connor Shaw. So I think you still have a very, very good chance to get him. If I'm talking to Connor Shaw right now, I'm saying he's going to have those conversations with Gunnar, I think, directly, which is what I think he should do, and say, hey, everything you committed to is still here. We're making this decision. We're making this change for you, for the betterment of your career here. We want you to be a 3 years into the NFL guy. We want to set you up to win an SEC championship, those type of things. So you're only making this move to be a positive for a guy like Gunnar Stockton. Andrew Vincent, what did all this Jeff Monken smoke do to Cass? Listen, there's going to be a lot of smoke over the next month and a half or so. There's going to be a lot of smoke for sure, but I wouldn't say Monken is one of the highly – I mean, maybe he will be, but I don't think – he's not a guy that's at the top of my radar, I'll put it that way. Joshua Kyle Smith, Bobo has our offense 5th in the SEC after 1 year. Again, offense for the most part has not been the problem. So offense has not been the problem for the most part. Obviously, it was the defense, and that's why the change. I think that's one of the big reasons the change was made. Sean Ramey, next coach that needs to do is Rob. Yeah, I would agree. All right, we've already got our first call. Sorry about that. Already got our first call. Phil, what's up, man?
Hey, brother, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. I watched the press conference, just like all Gamecock Nation, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and,
no more. You don't have to comment Muschamp out anymore. Yeah,
yeah. I'm officially Chadwell in now.
Yeah,
so we'll keep doing that. My question, one thing I wanted to bring up about the press conference, if you noticed Tanner, after he was asked what the meeting was like with Muschamp, he had to collect himself for a second there. Yeah. And I think there was tears in his eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which I'm not putting the man down. I mean, obviously they had a close relationship. Kind of made me a little sad when he made the comments. It's just a shame that it didn't work out. Hope the best for Muschamp. He obviously wasn't the guy. We had to move on, and now we're looking forward. My question to you is this. If you're Ray Tanner, who is your first call? Who is the first coach that you're calling? Who's at the top of your wish list? If you're Ray Tanner.
And it's so funny you asked that because I'm kind of torn on it because on one hand, I'd love to go after like a young unknown guy, take a flyer, roll the dice. But at the same time, like you have to make a guy like Bob Stoops say no, right? I mean, and I know people joke and say like Urban, but you almost have to make like an Urban Meyer say no. Like you have to make those legends say no to you first. I think you have to at least do your due diligence to an extent.
I am amazed. I'm amazed that you said Bob Stoops because that's exactly who I was thinking about. Guy won a national championship 20 years ago. He's only 60 years old. I mean, I would say only, but Mac Jones is 69.
Right.
So, Bob Stoops could have a couple years left. I mean, obviously, he retired at Oklahoma. I don't think there was any type of baggage with him there. The guy's a winner. He's won a national championship. Here's the thing: is the guy on 24/7 Sports? I can't remember the guy's name, but he said what Carolina should do is hire a guy that makes all of our rivals say, "Uh-oh, we got to deal with this guy."
I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
I mean, I'm all for bringing in a young guy, but you have to go to Bob Stoops first and somebody else at his caliber and make them. If they say no, okay, great. Then we can regroup with Chadwell.
Yeah. And somebody just commented here because this is where I'm torn. Somebody just said, I want a younger guy to bring energy and innovation. I don't want another rerun guy. And I will say again, that's where I'm torn because it would be cool to bring in a guy like Stoops with his experience. And I mean, he's a national championship head coach. That's a big deal. But again, I think this is kind of the perfect time for South Carolina to think outside the box, to roll the dice, to go after a guy that maybe is lesser known or doesn't quite have the experience, but a guy that can come in and really make South Carolina his own. You know what I mean? Like, I'd like to see that. I would like to see that to some degree because we've done the whole rerun of coaches. I'm not saying they were bad hires at all, obviously, but Holtz and then Spurrier, and then we took Florida's leftovers again with Muschamp. Like, I don't know. I'd kind of like – because here's the thing. If you want to justify giving a coach 5, 6, 7, 8 years to build a program, I'm going to be much more willing to do that with a guy who maybe this is his first big-time job than a guy that has either fizzled out or didn't do well at another school. Here's my biggest take on the coaching search, Phil, and what's so funny. And I don't say this joking; I say it dead serious. Because is there a candidate out there right now that you could hire to be a worse hire than Will Muschamp was in 2015? That's my question. I mean, I don't think there's a worse candidate out there, and I'm not trying to kick Will Muschamp while he's down, but there's not a guy out there that has a worse reputation than Will had when we hired him. I mean, just honestly. Now, there's guys that there's pros and cons to every single hire. Some of them have checkered past. Some of them have never had a big-time job. They don't have a lot of experience. But, I mean, when you look at what Will's reputation was, he literally got fired from Florida. He got fired. He got paid to leave just like he did in this scenario. So, again, I don't think there's a candidate out there that'd be a worse hire. Now, again, you don't base the decision off of, you say, oh, well, we'll just take anybody. But I'm just saying, I think there are a lot of good candidates out there. You've got to make the decision. Hey, I'm not in the rooms as far as the vetting process is concerned. You got to weigh the pros and the cons. And I've said it before. I just want an offensive-minded, aggressive, innovative coach. Obviously, you got to be willing to bust your ass recruiting. That's a given. But this program, I think to win big at South Carolina, you need to be able to think outside of the box. You need to be creative. You probably need to bring a form of the spread. So those are the things that I really look for. And obviously, again, like Ray Tanner was saying, you want somebody that has character and integrity, and he's going to run a good program. So that might knock Hugh Freeze out, but no, I mean, you've got to vet those guys and make the best possible decision, the best possible judgment. I think there are good enough candidates out there. South Carolina can find the right fit for them, but I don't know. Like I said, you got to make a guy like Stoops and Urban Meyer say no to you for sure. You have to do your due diligence. Right. But again, I don't know. I look at this scenario and I think this is the perfect time for South Carolina to roll the dice and take a chance on a guy.
Think about this. I'll close on this. Think about Luke Doty in Chadwell's offense.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's almost no doubt that the next head coach is going to look. I wish I could be a fly on the wall for when the next new coach or whatever, when the next coach takes a look at this South Carolina roster and looks at where some guys are, the positions they're playing, the way they're being utilized. Because, I mean, Ray Tanner made it very clear. It sounds like definitely they're going after an offensive guy too, which, again, you have to. You just have to. So I would love to hear the next coach, what he has to say looking at the roster, like especially like quarterback and, the quarterbacks we've moved to receiver. I don't know. I think it would be very interesting to hear what another coach would think about the handling of the roster. Let's put it that way. So,
yeah, absolutely.
So, but yeah, Phil, man, appreciate you calling in. Obviously, packed Monday, so I appreciate you chiming in, man, for sure.
I've got hope. Hope is restored.
We have hope.
Go
Yeah.
Cox.
Hey, yep, absolutely. Go Cox, man. Yeah, like I said, like he was saying, we've got hope. I'm for the first time while really looking for game day this weekend. It'll be really interesting. Does South Carolina rally around Mike Bobo? Do they find a way to get the job done this weekend in Columbia? Night game at Williams-Brice. I mean, who knows? But again, I really aired my thoughts last night and on the podcast, but I'll reiterate again. It was a decision that had to be made. I think it's the best move for both parties, obviously. I mean, listen, my thoughts on Will Muschamp were very, very well documented. In all seriousness, I wish it would have worked out. Believe it or not, I'm saying I wish it would have worked out. It's a shame. I hate it for Will Muschamp that it didn't. I would have loved to have seen. My hope was after last year's UNC game, Will Muschamp was going to prove me wrong. That was my hope. And again, if you're calling in and I'm missing the call, be sure to call in again. I don't know why I'm missing the calls here. I don't know why they're not coming through. Hold on. Maybe I've got to. Oh, you know what? My bad. I had the call in again. If you just called in, call in again. My bad. I had the silence unknown callers button on my phone, so I do apologize. If you guys want to call back in, be sure to call in 843-790-3377. Also, again, the podcast dropped this morning. Episode 318, of course, talking Ole Miss, but of course, the lead story today and throughout this week is going to be Will Muschamp's dismissal. That's what we're going to spend most of the week talking about. Obviously, we will get in the Mizzou game and everything else later in this week, but that is the big lead news for sure. Let's see, Jacob, when do you think we'll make the hire by? I think, Ray Tanner was saying December 16th, that signing day, they'd like to have a hire. What in the world is going on? All right, here we go. They'd like to have a hire by that December 16th date. I mean, I think they're going to get on it, and it'll probably happen the next couple of weeks. So we're going to go back to the phone lines here. Hey, John, what's up, man?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Good. Been a good few hours since we made that decision.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's been a crazy last 24, 48 hours or so, no doubt.
Yeah, it's just
I've been trying to. Here's my thing. I've been trying to tell one of my friends for a while now. He thinks Muschamp was doing a good job, but then my thing was, I'm like, I don't know what you were watching. Here's my thing. Muschamp and mine only had 3 big wins, maybe 1 win over Tennessee. He beat Georgia last year, and then Auburn this year. And the other thing is, he said Muschamp was our coach. Were we ever competitive against Clemson? And the answer is no. And that's the big thing. It's like never competitive against Clemson.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, listen, just didn't win enough to get the job done, man. I mean, again, I think Will Muschamp ran a fantastic program Sunday through Friday. The bottom line is you get paid to win on Saturdays, and especially I said this before coming in this season, it would be a bigger indictment on him as a head coach if the offense was, I said average, and I'd say the offense is, the defense. If the defense was average, I'd say the defense is below average right now. I mean, you give up 159 points in the last 3 games. I don't give a damn who you're playing. That's pathetic. And I think just the culmination of that, it being year 5, things just not trending in a positive direction. And, again, good dude. We all wanted it to work out, but simply put, you get paid to do a job and you didn't get it done. You didn't win enough. And, guys getting paid $13 million to leave. So it could be much worse for him. And again, he'll land on his feet, and hell, he can not work for the next 5-10 years if he didn't feel like it. So, Will Muschamp will be fine. Again, I think it was the best possible decision for all parties involved. I think it's great for South Carolina football. And I'm so happy for the fans that, again, we can really start looking forward to game day again. I mean, I came into game day against Ole Miss at the least feeling game day of all time. Like, really hardly even looking towards the game. And I hate to say that, especially doing what I do, but it was just that feeling of like dreading, oh my God, here we go again. And now, at least we get to move forward. And I'm excited for Mizzou, see what happens the rest of the season. And obviously extremely excited to, to find the next head coach. But, you got to win, man. You're getting paid as much as you are. And again, it wasn't year 2 or 3, man. It was year 5. So, I mean, you got to win games and just didn't win enough to get it done. So.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and the other thing is, like, LSU going to the LSU game, LSU was struggling, and we gave up 58 to LSU, and we came off a bye week to Texas A&M when we only scored 3 points, and we had a week to prepare.
Right.
So, and then, like, Ole Miss, fine. I mean, Ole Miss is like you said, like, I was watching after the game on Saturday, Ole Miss is more fun to watch in not even 1 year of Lane Kiffin, like you said, than Muschamp in year 5. Like, I have a problem with Lane Kiffin tossing his clipboard twice, to be honest, because I was like, it was expected.
Yeah. Yeah, so, no, for sure. Yeah.
So, I mean, you can't tell me the next guy coming in is going to be any worse.
Yeah. No, like I said, I don't think there's a candidate out there right now that is proven to be a worse option than Will. I mean, I think, I think there's not a candidate out there that has as bad a rep as Will had when you hired him. So,
totally.
Yeah. But yeah, man, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
No, just
with Muschamp, one last thing on him is this is his second. It's the second pattern, I guess you could say. He went to Florida, and before he got to Florida, they were doing fine.
Right.
He went to Florida, and they were inconsistent with him. We were doing, I guess, fine before Muschamp got here. I mean, we weren't in the best spot, but we were doing fine before he got here, and he made us worse every year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, again, it was just trending. It was just trending the wrong way. I mean, it's just trending the wrong way. There's no other way to put it. You didn't win enough games, and like I said, let bygones be bygones. Take your $13 million, and we're gonna go our way. You go your way. So, I think it was best for both sides, like I said. But yeah, man, I appreciate the call for sure. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, no problem.
So, thanks, man. Yeah, like I said, taking your calls, guys. 843-790-3377. If you do want to call in, a lot to get into here on a Monday. Obviously, see your questions coming in. I want to scroll back and look at some of these. Brent Elbrook says, new head coach, Napier or Fickle, new O-line coach, keep Connor at quarterbacks, new DC, hire Brad Long back at D-line, hire DJ Swearinger at defensive backs. The dream staff, huh? Rodney Creel, I'd much rather a top upcoming coordinator as our next head coach or a group of 5 current head coach up-and-comer over recycling failed head coaches. I kind of tend to agree with you. I tend to lean on that side as well. Hey, Lance, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. It's Lance, man. I was just calling in to tell you, hey, celebrate the good times, baby. Woo!
Yeah. I mean, I'm ecstatic for the football program, but definitely for the fans, man. It's just when you get to the point where game day, you don't even look forward to it anymore. You had to make a change, and I'm glad our fans can, if nothing else, come into these last three games of the season fired up and excited and have a reason for hope and optimism. So that's more than you had before. So just being honest.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I'm super stoked about game day now. Feels like the weight has just been lifted off our shoulders.
Yeah.
And I'm just excited for the next guy to get in there and get rolling.
Yeah, no, for sure. I like I said, I think there is a slew of good candidates available, and obviously, you got to hope that Ray Tanner's not going to be the only guy making the decision, which I highly doubt that'll be the case. But Castlin and that whole crew, and if they hire a search committee, just find the best person and go from there. But yeah, man, I'm definitely excited for game day. And like I said before, it's unfortunate it didn't work out. We all wanted to see it work out. I don't think anybody really cares who the head coach is. They just want to see South Carolina football be successful. It don't really matter. I'm of that party. I don't give a damn who the head coach is.
Yeah, I don't get this whole thing that's rolling out social media about anybody that wants a chance to fail. Nobody wanted that at all. Right. Nobody.
Yeah,
we all wanted to work. It didn't.
Yeah.
The time was now. It was a good time. The best time, the only time you had to make a change. You had to make a change. And I'm just happy, that we're going to get an opportunity to get somebody in there that can hopefully change the direction of this program, get us on the up and up.
Yeah, I thought Ray Tanner put it beautifully. I thought he honestly did really good in his media availability, but I thought he put it beautifully. Just somebody that's going to bring some enthusiasm, intensity, and bring some fun back in the program. Because you know what I'm saying? Like, again, game day wasn't fun anymore. It just wasn't. I got to the point where it wasn't fun. And so, you hope with the next guy. I mean, because I equated it like looking at Ole Miss. Listen, Ole Miss isn't very good this year, but they're entertaining. They're fun to watch. And that's the difference with South Carolina and what Ole Miss has right now. So, but again, gonna get these tons of calls coming in, but I appreciate you tuning in for sure, man.
Yeah, man. First time calling, man. I've been with you since the beginning, back in the closet days. I just figured I'd go ahead and call in and talk to you a little bit.
Yeah, good times, dude, for sure. I appreciate the love and support, man. We'll keep it rocking. So,
yeah, man. Spurs up. Go Cox.
Go Cox. All right, let's get back to the lines here.
Okay. I sent the caller's voicemail. Goodbye.
Oh, crap. Whoops. Call back in, Will. Sorry, I tried to get you, and it just didn't come through. We got a lot of people calling in. A lot of people calling here on a Monday. Obviously, a lot of you guys want to get your thoughts, your comments, and all that good stuff, which is great. Take your comments, questions, calls. 843-790-3377. Yo, what's going on? How are you?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Just hanging out, man. Doing well. I appreciate you asking.
Yeah, man. One of my questions is, what do you think about Connor Shaw being promoted to quarterbacks coach? My opinion on that, honestly, I do like it. I kind of wish it was something that's already been done. And I like the fact that Des Kitchens is our running backs coach. And, to be honest with you, I think you're right about needing to go to the spread. But, I wouldn't mind trying to hang on to at least Des Kitchens for the running backs coach to try to help keep Marshawn Lloyd there and, maybe keeping Connor Shaw in a sort of a role to help maintain Gunner Stockton, because, that's one of the main reasons why he's coming there. And, to basically keep what ties we have to recruits now to try to keep them here. And, my other question is, do you think Hilinski will transfer, or do you think Dottie will transfer? And I'll hang up and take your call. Take your answers. Thanks, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for the call. Yeah, so the Connor Shaw thing, really, really excited for Connor. Yeah, it's when it's great to have as much Gamecock blood as you can in the program. And I don't have to tell you guys what Connor Shaw did. The dude is an all-time great, winning his quarterback in school history. Obviously, he was already involved on staff, but to get him in an on-field position, I think will be really, really neat. That'll be really awesome. And again, I've talked with former players about it. A ton of former players have talked about it. As many former Gamecocks as you can get in those type of positions, I think is really, really good. Torrey Gurley told me best. I know some of you may not be a fan of Torrey, but he said it takes a Gamecock to know a Gamecock. I think that is perfectly putting it. So happy for Connor. I think it would be in the next coach's best interest, certainly, to keep Connor Shaw on staff in some capacity, I mean, I think I wouldn't hire that guy if he's willing to keep Connor Shaw on staff. As far as the Hilinski and Doty thing, will they transfer? It's tough to say. I think you've got to wait it out, see who the next head coach is, see what their plan for you is, what type of offense are they going to run. I think that's what it's going to really come down to for those guys. So, Cade, what's going on, man?
How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing well. How are you? Yeah, I'm doing well. Appreciate you asking. How are you?
I'm doing good. Hey, Fire Muschamp. Congratulations.
Hey, this is a victory for all South Carolina fans. Everybody that cares about Gamecock football. This is a and like I said, I will make the point because I told people I'm not smoking this cigar celebrating this victory because somebody lost their job. I'm celebrating for the University of South Carolina football program, and we get to look forward to game day again, and you get to start to you get to close the chapter and move forward, and hopefully we start to get South Carolina back to the heights we know it's capable of. So again, it's nothing personal, all a business. Wish Muschamp nothing but the best. But yeah, I mean, I'm ecstatic. I'm elated. I feel like most Gamecock fans feel right now, and that's almost kind of relieved too. It's finally over. We can finally stop saying fire Muschamp week after week after week. And I mean, it definitely feels good though, man. There's no question. It feels good. And heck, I'm excited for this weekend.
Definitely.
So
Most definitely. So where do you see the recruits? Do you see the recruits going down, coming up more? And I mean, so what do you see the recruits coming in at?
I think you'd be a little remiss to think there's not going to be some sort of a hit to recruiting. I mean, I love to think that everybody that's committed to South Carolina right now is committed there because they just love the University of South Carolina, and that's the number one reason they're coming. You may still end up getting those guys, but I think you'll probably see a few guys, if nothing else, open up their recruitment. Maybe. Again, it's all a guess. I mean, I'm not in there in the living rooms with those kids and talking to them or whatever. But you also think, too, the new head coach is probably going to bring some of his guys with him, bring some guys he was talking to and recruiting. And he'll probably bring some guys with him that he was pursuing on the recruiting trail. So, I mean, it's a trade-off, man. It's always – but I will tell you this, though. If there's any year to do it and pull the trigger, the year that you're ranked 46th or whatever, 40th in recruiting, that's the year to do it. So, I mean, if you lose some recruits, man, it sucks, but it's not like, it's not like it's last year and you're scared about losing Marshawn Lloyd or Jordan Birch or Luke Doty. Again, it's all due respect to those guys on that are committed right now, but that's just something you got to deal with. And, hopefully you bring the next guy in, and if they're guys that he wants to keep, obviously, you hope you can retain them. But, in a situation like this, you just kind of have to deal with it. But, long story short, I think you'll see some guys probably decommit. But, again, the new guy might bring some new guys in, and you'll kind of figure it out with this first class and just go from there. You know what I mean? So, you just got to deal with it.
I know. I mean, I don't know if Will Muschamp was – I really don't think that Will Muschamp was – I mean, I know he wasn't excited about it, but I know that he wasn't mad about it either because he knew that everybody in Columbia was not his friend anymore. Nobody likes him anymore, and he's gone. So it's party time in Columbia today and last night.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. That's what I was saying. People don't think about this. I think it was the best move for both parties. And it's never great to lose your job, but you think about how – I mean, I don't care how much money you're getting made. Losing's miserable. It'll make you miserable. And again, like you're saying, all the criticism and all the scrutiny. And I mean, I'm sure he's not too upset getting his $13 million pay and getting down. Like, it could be much, much worse. So again, I think this was the best move for both parties involved. And I'm sure Will Muschamp is, because I'm sure he says the same thing when he looks back at Florida, but I'm sure he'll say the same thing at South Carolina, that, you know what, when he looks back, maybe he looks at it now this way. But I definitely think when you look back, it'd be like, you know what, that was the best possible thing that could have happened. Things weren't going the right way, in a toxic situation really at that point. And again, it's the best move for both parties. So.
Yeah. But I mean, he was a okay coach at Florida. And then, and coming in, I thought that he would be all right in the first 2 years, but this is year 5. Our defense stunk.
Yeah.
We suck. We give up, like 600 yards
against Ole
Yeah,
Miss.
700,
Ole Miss,
701, I think, something like that. So
700 yards against Ole Miss. And to play a game wasn't even Ole Miss. It was fucking Lane Kiffin throwing his clipboard 50 feet up in the air.
yeah, I mean, 159 points in the last 3 games, man. That says it all. You know what I mean? That says it all. So I mean, it's again, it was going the wrong direction. We all saw it, and I said again tons of times before the season that if you were average to below average on defense, that was going to be a bigger indictment of Will Muschamp in year 5. And sure enough, I mean, you're bottom of the league in defense. I think you're 12th out of 14 teams. So, man, that tells you all you need to know. That really doesn't. Hey, I think it tells you all you need to know. And you look at a game like the Missouri game and what Will Muschamp did. First-year head coach Eli Drinkwitz is a 5.5-point favorite against your 5th-year head coach and Will Muschamp, or was head coach. So, I mean, that, it wasn't going the right direction, and obviously on the defensive side, for sure it wasn't. But, yeah, man, it's a new day, new era. I'm excited. I'm happy for the fans and happy for Gamecock football, man. Can't wait.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, man, appreciate the call. Absolutely. Yeah, God, appreciate the calls coming in. Like I said, if you've got any questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. If you're calling in, I'm missing your call, please call back in. Phones are ringing off the hook. Rodney Creel, look, I know a lot of people are worried about losing recruits due to Champ leaving, but I was more worried about losing recruits due to terrible results and piles of losses. Losing recruits is honestly not a concern to me. Yeah, I mean, again, exactly. It's never going to be a perfect time. You can't just keep a coach because you might lose a recruit or two. Bottom line, you know what I mean? You got to make the move at some point. You'll deal with those losses. You'll deal with transfers. You'll deal whatever. But you got to make the move. You got to make the move, and it was time to do it. And, done with it. So, yeah. And Brandon Simpson says, move on from bashing Muschamp. And I'm really not. And I'm trying to make that as clear and evident as possible because, again, I know that a lot of people, they have seen my content and heard my rants and think it's personal. And it's the furthest thing from it. Would have loved to have seen Will Muschamp succeed here. He didn't. It's a results-oriented business. They all get that. That's the bottom line. Let bygones be bygones and let both parties proceed. So Hunter Brown says, let's get Jason Brown on staff now. Oh, my gosh. Last you guy? Jeez. Hey, Justin, what's going on, man?
How you doing, Chris?
Doing well. Sorry, I saw I missed your call earlier, so I'm glad to be able to get you back on.
That's okay, man. Chris, I feel good today, man. It's good to be a Gamecock fan because we need a change bad.
Yeah. No, I mean it's definitely a good day to be a Gamecock fan, man. And it almost felt kind of surreal last night, even waking up today thinking, wow, we actually pulled the trigger. So it's again, I just keep reiterating, it's nothing personal. We all wanted to see it work out with Muschamp, and it just flat out didn't. So I'm excited, elated, ecstatic, all the positive adjectives you can think of. I'm extremely, extremely amped up for South Carolina's football program and the future and what lies ahead. So,
Yeah, I agree, Chris. Chris, we just need a young offensive mind coach.
Yeah, no, I agree 110%. You got to go find a young offensive mind, man. The game is played and won that way. It's about offense. The rules favor offense. I mean, it's all about – and I almost more – yeah, he's got to be offensive, but what that leads to is an aggressive head coach, a guy who's aggressive, a guy who's willing to take chances, a guy who's willing to think outside the box and roll the dice and be different. You know what I mean? You can't – I don't think you can win big at South Carolina or really hardly win at all with a conservative – just that conservative mindset. I just don't think you can do it.
I agree, Chris. They need to do something different sometimes if you want to compete for the SEC every year,
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think again at South Carolina, at least right now, and you're not recruiting at a 5 clip. I mean, I think you're recruiting well enough to win, no question. But you need somebody who can come in, develop talent, get the most out of their talent, and, again, be a little creative and think outside the box. You have to have that.
Yeah, I agree, Chris. It's going to take some time, The coach got to get used to a new coach,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree with you 110%. So.
Yep.
But, no, man, I appreciate the call and appreciate the support for sure. Appreciate you tuning in and, Yeah, we'll see what happens, man. Should be a lot of fun. Again, I'm excited for the future. So
Yeah, and Chris is at the page, and hope we get the right guy in there.
yeah, no, we'll get him in for sure, man. Like I said, take care. I appreciate the call.
All right, thanks, man.
All right, thanks. Go Cox. Again, guys, if I missed your call back, taking questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. 843-790-3377. Wood Walters, does Bobo have a legitimate chance? So Ray Tanner did say this. He said that, we'll evaluate, obviously. Bobo is the interim head coach. I don't think so. I don't think realistically, no. I absolutely not. It's something you have to say, though. It's kind of tough to sit there and say, yeah, this guy has absolutely no shot. You got to keep him motivated, right? You got to keep him motivated to do the best he can possibly do as far as the job is concerned. But no, I think South Carolina will go outside of, go outside of that. So again, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls. We got them rolling in here. Justin Gant. I would love to see an NFL offensive coach come over and be a coach. Need a pro-style offense that can utilize the skills that Stockton will have. Plus, he will know how to use Doty in certain packages. Yeah, again, you need a guy that's going to come in, I think, implement spread. I think a guy that's going to come in, implement spread, forward-thinking, outside-of-the-box type of offense. So, Ryan Clark, we need to get rid of the whole staff minus Connor Shaw. It's time for a total rebuild again. And I think the next head coach will bring in his own guys. I don't think you're going to see holdovers from this staff. So, let's see. Joshua Kyle Smith. I say Deion Sanders at head coach with a solid OC in DC. That would be the best combo. That would be very interesting for sure. Tyler Knoll, unpopular opinion, but I don't like Jamie Chadwell. I don't know why everyone's so high on him. The Sun Belt Conference coach, the SEC is 100% different. He's good for Coastal. Again, I hear you. I definitely hear that as being a complaint. Great time to roll the dice on a guy, though, in my opinion. Yo, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, Chris,
Yes, sir. Appreciate the call. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Doing well, doing well.
Hey, a couple of things. I think this was a huge statement too made by the University of South Carolina to show the football world that we were willing to step up and make a move, even with $13 million buyout. I mean, that's a huge buyout for any school, but USC not being a powerhouse, that was a big step. I'm sure we had to go to some of our donors to get that, but that was a huge statement, I think.
I agree.
Yeah.
No, I agree 110%. I really honestly gave major kudos and so impressed with Bob Castle and the people behind closed doors because you know what? To me, if nothing else, it screams that winning is important. It is the most important thing. They care about winning. They care about putting, if nothing else, they care about putting a product on the field that South Carolina fans and alumni can be proud of. So, man, I tip my cap to them, and I respect the hell out of it.
We were the laughing stock of football this year.
Yeah, it became a national mockery on more than one occasion. I agree.
Right. I got one other question. In reference to Hugh Freeze, I know that Saban tried to hire him a couple of years ago, and Greg Sankey blocked it. It wasn't welcome back in the SEC. Is that still the case? Do you know?
I'm not 110% sure. I know his relationship with them obviously is not fantastic, and I saw somebody talking about them on Twitter that would kind of steer them away from Hugh. I'm not. I can't speak with 100% certainty and say he's in good standing or not in good standing. But again, there's going to be pros and cons to every single candidate you vet out there. Certainly, I mean, we all know his con, man. The sanctions at Ole Miss and the personal stuff and whatever, and that's something you really, if you're gonna pursue Hugh Freeze. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna, whatever. If you want to hire him, go ahead, but you better make sure you do your homework. So,
I just got a feeling that Caslin, he said that Tanner's going to be in charge of the search committee, but I got a feeling Caslin is probably going to want to interview the top 3 candidates for them.
Yeah.
And Caslin will probably have final veto on many of them. And I think Hope Caslin puts the contract together himself. And I just can't I can't see Gasling accepting somebody with the baggage of Hugh Freeze.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, because you think, Bob Caston's certainly a man of high character with his background, his service, and all that good stuff. And to your point, though, yeah, they're not going to allow Ray Tanner to do this search on his own. Listen, they're not stupid. They all know what to be said. And Ray Tanner's literally getting questions about his future as AD in the press conference. I'm sure Bob Caston is going to do his damnedest to look out for Ray, you know what I mean? Because I'm sure they have a working relationship, and it's like, well, I really don't want to see you get fired, because if this hire goes poorly, there's people that want him gone now, obviously, which, hey, I totally understand. But the reality of it was this: you can't fire your AD and your head coach at the same time, because, hey, the head coach wants to know who he's working for. You know what I mean? He wants to know who he's working for.
That's
so,
right.
I think in the next couple of years, you will see Ray step down. I think for sure. They're not going to fire a legend, nor do I think they should do it. But no, it will be a group effort to find the next head coach. There's no question. There's no doubt. They're not going to put this all on one man's shoulders, nor should they. So
no, and I got a feeling that Castle made that known to the donors that he asked
Oh,
to pony up.
yeah, absolutely.
No question. Last week, I'm sure he was on the phone talking to Dollamore and some other people.
Mhm.
And I'm sure he had to assure them that he wasn't going to make this call by himself.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah,
It's time for us to make a move toward the top.
Mhm.
Facilities are great, a great fan base. And so we. I'm a 72 graduate. I'm just proud to finally be happy on a Monday as a Gamecock.
Oh yeah, that's awesome,
we've been
man.
hurting.
Yeah, that's awesome. I said it on the podcast too, and I'll say it again because I think it kind of speaks to it. With obviously, like you said, you're a 72 grad. I think this is a, and again, it's not a celebration of a man becoming unemployed or oh yay, he lost his job. No, it's again, this was the best move for both parties. This is a call it what it is. This is a victory for everyone from the day one Gamecock to the 50-year season ticket holder. I think everybody should celebrate in this, and we get to now start the healing process, if you will, and start moving forward. And again, close that chapter and move on, and hopefully, and I think, start getting South Carolina football back to the heights we know it's capable of.
Yeah.
So I think it's a huge victory for everybody. So
I tell everybody I'm a 50-year fan. For 40 years, I was a top level contributor.
Yeah.
To Gamecock Club. And I always said, I suffered through those 2 years. So where we went 1 in 20 or something like that.
1 in 21. Yeah. 98, 99. Yeah.
I said then you had to have two things to be a Gamecock fan. You had to have a good sense of humor and a strong drink of liquor, and you needed those things through the years. Hopefully we're able to change that. So, but a good show. Enjoy it, man.
Yeah, and I appreciate the call, man. Thank you so much for the love and support and tuning in. Obviously, thanks for the call.
All right, thank you.
Yep, thank you, man. Yeah, great call, great stuff, and that's really cool. Hear from a longtime Gamecock fan. Like I said, I look at this. This is a victory for everybody from the 15-year-old kid that just started pulling for Carolina 5 years ago to the 50-year season ticket holder. It's a victory for everybody. We can start the mending process, the healing process, if you will, and get Gamecock ball back to where we know it should be. And again, it's not even getting it back to, we got to win 10 games or win 11 games a year, but there's no shame. And I think it is very realistic in South Carolina to expect this program to win 8 to 9 games a year on a yearly basis, and every 3 to 4 years realistically compete to go to Atlanta. I think that is a realistic expectation for South Carolina football. I don't see any reason why that can't be achieved, and you shouldn't bring in the next head coach if he doesn't think that can be achieved. I think that's more than realistic. And again, I don't think Gamecock fans were asking for unrealistic expectations from Will Muschamp and that staff, but when you're not even competing anymore and you're just getting beaten and battered and bruised week after week and you're not seeing progression, that's what did it. And you have to make a change at that point. So again, guys, love the calls today. Keep them coming. Like I said, we got about 15 minutes left. 843-790-3377, guys. 843-790-3377. Your thoughts, obviously, a reaction Monday, we could call it, with Will Muschamp officially being fired. It's crazy. I wasn't sure when we'd get to this point. I thought it would happen, but I wasn't sure when. Let's see here. Drayton Huffman. I know Tanner said he hopes to have someone by December 16th, which is signing day. But I know everyone gets a bowl game this year. So does that mean if we have a hire by December 16th and bowl game in late December, the head coach lead SC in that bowl game? Just curious. In a lot of scenarios when that happens, the interim does coach the bowl game. So I guess that's a team-by-team basis, a program-by-program basis. But I don't know. You have to see. I think most likely the interim head coach, which is Mike Bobo, would lead the team in the bowl game. And you'd probably have the head coach kind of standing by. He already knows he has the job, all that good stuff, whatever. But I don't know. I guess they'd have to decide that on their own. I'm not really sure. Tristan Dixon, I'm worried with Hugh Freeze. Our situations turns out like Bobby Petrino at Louisville. Take a chance on a once good SEC coach baggage, and he fails second time around at a bigger program. Yeah, again, I lean more and more against that. I think this is the perfect time, like I said, to roll the dice, take a flyer on a guy, take a chance, think outside the box, get creative. I mean, of course, you could go for the rerun SEC head coach, and you could go for the guy that's been there, done that. But I don't know. I kind of like the thought of just taking a chance on a guy. Why not? You know what I mean? Like, give somebody an opportunity to make South kind of their own and take ownership of it, and bring their fresh ideas to South Carolina and go from there. I mean, again, So I will say this. I don't think there's a single hire out there that I look at and I'm like, oh my God, that would be like the nightmare scenario. I think there's pros to every candidate. There's also cons to basically every single candidate. So you're going to take a chance probably no matter what. I think the term home run hire is very much overused in college football because, hey, home run hires don't always turn out to be home run hires. You really, truly do never know. Dabo Swinney was looked at as a terrible hire, and look what's happened to him at Clemson. So why not, man? I think this is a great time to roll the dice on a guy. So let's see. Joshua Kyle Smith, is Lane Kiffin a possibility? No, I think that he's year one at Ole Miss. He's not going to leave there. So Donnie Cunningham says that there are plenty bad candidates. I mean, from the ones that I'm thinking of the short list of the 4, 5, or 6 people. I mean, again, if we dig far enough, if we go far enough down the list, for sure. But the ones that I'm thinking of that I have at the top of the list, again, I don't know if there's a perfect hire out there, but again, from the ones that I'm thinking of, I don't see it as being a nightmare. But again, hey, everybody's going to have different opinions. And there's going to be plenty of debate. There's going to be plenty of back and forth for sure. And that's what's going to make this thing, I can tell you, a lot of fun. It's going to be, some people think Hugh Freeze is a slam dunk. Others think it would be a miserable hire and one of the worst hires we ever made. So you never really know where people are at. Again, everybody has different opinions. I guess it'll make fun of you, but you have to hope and feel and trust that the people that are in charge, I know it's tough for Gamecock fans because it is Ray Tanner, but I don't think he's going to be the lead guy in this. But you have to trust the people behind closed doors that are vetting these candidates, that are going through this process. They're going to find the best possible guy for South Carolina. Drayton Huffman, if you were to choose one realistic candidate for head coach, you got to pick by December. Who are you going with and why? And see, it's tough for me to say because I'd love to be in the rooms vetting these guys. It's tough to just sit here from the outside looking in. Because again, maybe a guy like Hugh Freeze is a good fit. I mean, he's won everywhere he's gone. Maybe he is a good fit. I've said Joe Brady before. I've said Jamie Chadwell. I've said Billy Napier. I kind of lean more towards the guys that, hey, the con in them, maybe they're unproven. Right? They've never had a big-time SEC job like that. They've never had a big-time job. They've never had a big, Power 5, whatever. They haven't had that opportunity. They don't have the experience that some other guys do. But I don't know, man. I just think this is the perfect opportunity to roll the dice on a guy, to get creative with this hire, think outside the box. Everybody's expecting you, at least like national media, everybody's expecting you to hire Hugh Freeze. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be nice, and somebody made the point earlier, it'd be nice, I think, to take a flyer on a guy and not necessarily depend on taking another school's watch-out coach. You know what I mean? Like, and again, I'm not knocking like hiring Lou Holtz or Steve Spurrier. Obviously, those were fantastic hires, but it'd be nice to switch it up a little bit. So, and Adam Madison, Billy Napier states he doesn't like Dabo. Would that check the box for Tanner and Castle? I mean, the Clemson dynamic with Napier is certainly very, very interesting, and I wish, obviously, that wasn't a thing. But I don't know. Again, you got to vet those guys behind the scenes. You got to vet those guys behind the scenes and pick the best possible guy. So let's see. Andrew Bowers, we need a young coach, nothing else. Again, guys, I've told you what I'm looking for. A younger, aggressive, offensive-minded guy who's willing to think outside the box, like I said, who's willing to roll the dice, who is willing to be a little unorthodox, to be totally honest with you. And, of course, the guy who's going to recruit his ass off. There's no question. You got to do that. But that's really what I'm looking for. I mean, bottom line. So, let's see. Clay Sprouts. Everybody remember Darren Horn. Rolling the dice is fun at first, but the shine wears off quickly. Well, yeah, that one didn't turn out well for sure. I mean, obviously, you hope this isn't another one of those scenarios, and it could be. You could roll the dice and it not work, but I don't know. I kind of just like I like – you just never know. You know what I mean? Clemson did it, and it worked out beautifully. So you just never really know. So Baron Gass and Joe Brady. I've talked about Joe Brady a lot. He's been one of my top choices. I like Joe Brady, one of the best young up-and-coming minds. The thing that would scare me about Joe Brady, though, is he ready to take the keys to the car, man? I mean, he's 30 years old, 31 or something like that. Is he ready to run an SEC program? That to me would have me a little concerned. So, let's see. Let's see. Sorry about that, guys. H-Man 98 Napier reportedly said last year he would be willing to leave Louisiana if the Carolina job ever came open. This after he turned down Mississippi State and Baylor. I mean, listen, he'll certainly be one of the guys that is talked to. You know what I mean? That they're going to contact. I think certainly. So, let's see. Jacob Pinson bringing Freeze with Garcia as the quarterback coach, about to light up the nightlife. Yeah, love it, love it. Joshua Kyle Smith, Clemson hired a great OC in DC. That is the key. I agree with you. I agree with you. You got to have, a great coach can only do so much. He needs a great staff. You got to have a great staff. You look at Steve Spurrier, the staffs he had when he was at South Carolina, that stuff matters, man. You got to have a great staff around you. So I agree 110%. You got to find the right OC in the DC, no matter who the next head coach is. Colburn, and thoughts on Shaw possibly staying on to keep Stockton? I mean, I think he needs to stay on because he's a freaking Gamecock legend. I think he does great things for the program. But also, yeah, I mean, definitely to keep Stockton, that's going to be a motivating factor. No question. And I think the next head coach would be doing himself a massive favor to Gunnar Shaw on. And certainly, again, you would think it's going to help you out with the Gunnar Stockton recruitment. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Again, taking your questions, comments, calls. We've got about 5 more minutes left here. About 5 minutes. Ryan Hobby, how about Luke Fickell? He's hungry for Power 5 Saturdays. You could do worse. I think you could do worse. And that's really how I look at, like, Hugh Freeze. That's going to be the hottest name. That's going to be the hottest name in regards to people. Is South Carolina going to pursue him? Is South Carolina going to pursue Hugh Freeze? I mean, I think you could do much worse. Put it that way. I think you could do much, much, much worse. My question is this. What scares me about Luke Fickell, he's a defensive-minded guy. He's a defensive guy. And for me, I'm totally out on that. I have no interest in that. So, but I will say he's done great things at Cincinnati. I mean, you look at the last 33-13 there. 2017, they went 4-8, but since then, 11-2, 11-3, and 7-0. So, the guys won. Again, there's not a candidate out there, guys, you could bring in right now that I think would be a worse hire than Will Muschamp was in 2015. Nobody. There's not a single guy. So, Tristan Dixon, what do you think about Mangus dropping hints on Twitter? I don't think anything of it. I mean, I don't think G.A. Mangus is coming back here. Hunter Herlong, have you heard the rumor about Army's head coach being Castleton's top choice? I've seen his name. I haven't heard nothing about it being his top choice, though. I certainly hope that's not the case. Somebody literally DM'd me is Urban Meyer on campus at USC. Tanner Poor, do you think if Bobo beats Missouri and Kentucky and plays Georgia close, they might hire Bobo? I don't think so. I don't think so. So I think they're going to move on and get a fresh face and get a fresh start. And no, I don't think you'll see any holdovers from the staff unless maybe it's Connor Shaw. So let's see. Poor Muse wasn't too happy yesterday. I mean, listen, the players were upset, and we get it. You'd expect them to be. They all love their coach and they support their coach. And I mean, I wouldn't expect anything different. You know what I mean? I think it'd be kind of weird if they were celebrating their coach being gone. So, let's see. Savannah Webster. No, somebody just DM'd me that. I've heard nothing. I've heard nothing in regard to that. So I've heard nothing about Urban Meyer or whatever. I mean, it's, rumors are starting to fly already. I mean, I would highly doubt that, to be honest with you. So, would highly, highly doubt it. Let's see. Joe Anders, do you think Kevin Harris stays if the blue blood come calling? Again, it's going to be different for every single guy. Guys are going to have the options to transfer. Guys are going to have the options to go to a different school, whatever. Guys are going to have the options to opt out. I'm really surprised nobody asked Mike Bobo about that. Will there be players for South Carolina that are opting out? I mean, will there be guys that are transferring immediately? I mean, you never know. I think it would be a little foolish to think that's not going to happen. So, I thought what was really strange, I'll say this about today's media availability, is that two of the three guys that spoke, I know they were all seniors, but two of the three guys that spoke were Colorado State transfers in Prentice and Hill. Like, you would think they'd have the guys up there that spent the last 3, 4, 5 years of Will Muschamp. You'd think they'd have them up there speaking, but I mean, whatever. So I think it would be, again, a little foolish to not assume. There's going to be a couple guys that probably opt out and transfer. I think that's definitely going to be a thing. Hopefully Kevin Harris certainly is not one of those guys. So Andrew Bowers, some people said get Spurrier back. No, he's done. Steve Spurrier's done. So Steve Spurrier's done. Savannah Webster, tons of questions. I joined late catching tomorrow. Yes, I appreciate you tuning in. Obviously, it's crazy. Going to be crazy all week. Very, very busy time for us all. Jay says Matt Campbell's a sleeper for the job. I'd love Matt Campbell. I think he's done great things at Iowa State. And, yeah, I'd be down. I'd be down for sure. So, H-Man998, appreciate the love, support. Appreciate you tuning in, sir. Guys, like I said, a quick reminder, if you have not done so, check out the podcast. Dropped this morning, a packed show, obviously, episode 318. Dove into it all. Will Muschamp being fired, the Ole Miss game. Also, fantastic interview with Jamario Brown, former Gamecocks defensive lineman. An awesome story from him about his time at South Carolina. But a great episode today. You guys be sure to check it out if you have not done so. Adam Madison, will we ever see this Carolina's defense get back to normal? Yeah, I think so. You get the new guy in there, and I think it's possible. Get a good DC. I think it's possible. So, Joshua Kyle Smith, I know it doesn't hold water, but 247 Sports is definitely fueling the Urban Meyer talk. I mean, hey, guy's a winner. Guy's a winner. He's won big everywhere he's gone. Sign me up. I'm down. I mean, honestly, I'd be down for it. Hey, selfishly, it'd be great for content. Be great for content. No, I mean, I you could do much worse than Urban Meyer. So, let's see. Drayton Huffman, are you going to the game this weekend? I have got to figure that out. Not 110% sure. Got to figure that out. We may, I think, I don't know. We'll probably do the watch party at Overtime Bar and Grill. I'll let you guys know, though. You guys stay tuned for that. So, you guys stay tuned for that for sure. Wrapping up here, guys. We got about 15 seconds left. Thank you so much for tuning in all. a really fun Monday here, guys. Again, if you haven't done so, check out the podcast, episode 318 that dropped this morning. Again, we'll be doing this every single day, 12 to 1, guys. Thank you so much for the love, support. We'll talk to you soon. See you.